Hello, third graders. Today is our last day on Manhattan, one of the boroughs of New York City. So today we're going to look at the life in the Upper East Side versus the Upper West Side. So here's an aerial view. So you can see, remember we talked about in Midtown, this is one of the clusters that had the skyscrapers. Well, right beyond that, going north, we have the West Side right here, and then the East Side. And again, the west side is along the Hudson River, and the east side is along the East River here. And right in the middle is Central Park. So it really gives you a good view looking down at the city here at Manhattan to see the separation of the west side and the Upper East Side. Well, what is the Upper East Side like? Well, it's the Museum Mile, whose institutions include big names like the Metropolitan Museum, or some of you might know it as the Met of Art, and the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum alongside the Frick Collection. It is the most affluent neighborhood in all of New York City. You have Madison Avenue and Fifth Avenue on the Upper East Side, and it's home to the most high-end fashion boutiques in New York City. So here's a picture of outside of the Met Museum of Art. It's a big deal here. Not only is the institution very large, it has one of the most well-curated collections of art and artifacts anywhere in the world, spanning 5,000 years of history, including paintings, sculptures, architecture, armor, instruments, and costumes. But it wasn't always one of the city's most visited cultural attractions. The Met was founded in 1870 by a group of financiers and artists who wanted to create a fine arts museum in America. So after several location changes, it settled in its current spot in 1880 in Central Park on the Upper East Side, and it continued to expand. For the first 2 decades, it was visited mainly by the non-working upper classes due to its hours, which coincided with the workday. But now the museum eventually extended its hours to include Sundays, and by the early 20th century, it quickly became a popular place for the public to visit. The neoclassical style building has become a universal draw for art lovers, containing works from all over the world. The Met is a 2 million square foot building. It's huge, with 5 stories and more than 2 million works in its permanent collection. It's hard to see everything just in a few hours, let alone a few days. Also on the Upper West Side is the Guggenheim Museum. Housed in one of the most iconic buildings in New York, the Guggenheim Museum's collection is filled with prized pieces. The Guggenheim always presents interesting and innovative exhibitions, and the museum's layout is like no other. As visitors experience the artwork along a huge ramp, which you can see in this picture, that spirals up around the entire interior of the cylinder building. The Frick Collection is also part of the Museum Mile. The Frick Collection is a museum in a historic mansion located between Midtown and Museum Mile on the Upper East Side. Considered a top cultural attraction, it is home to European paintings, sculpture, and decorative arts from the Renaissance through the 19th century by some of the most recognizable names in European art, like Vermeer, Rembrandt, Gainsborough, Goya, Renoir, and Whistler. The Frick also features special exhibitions. Now here we have a closer look on the map. So here we have your Upper West Side separated by the Central Park, and then the Upper East Side. So let's now look at the Upper West Side. The Upper West Side is an affluent, mostly residential area known as one of Manhattan's cultural and intellectual hubs. It is bordered by Central Park and Riverside Park and lined up with residential buildings. The Upper West Side is made for a stroll through pop cultural history and history in general. Lincoln Center performances and the American Museum of Natural History are just a few of its iconic places. The Upper West Side is best known for its coffee shops on every corner, countless bakeries, cozy bistros, gourmet grocers like Zabar's, and family-friendly casual restaurants. Let's start with the American Museum of Natural History. If your interest falls somewhere within the category of the universe, this massive museum will appeal to you. You wind through its comprehensive collections, including perennial favorites like the towering T-Rex in the Hall of Dinosaurs and the Hall of Ocean Life's 90-foot-long blue whale hanging from the ceiling, which you can see in these pictures. There's also on the Upper West Side the Beacon Theater. It's a historic 2,894-seat, three-tiered Manhattan theater, as you can see in this picture here, 1, 2, 3. It is a setting for unforgettable concerts and special events. Also on the Upper West Side is Lincoln Center. Lincoln Center is one of the cornerstones of New York City's culture, consisting of a campus of 11 organizations focused on music, dance, and theater. Together, they bring thousands of performances to life each year. You can stop by to see a concert or a play, or just take a guided tour of Lincoln Center's many impressive theaters. The ever-famous Juilliard School of Music is also located at Lincoln Center. Students at Juilliard study dance, drama, and all types of music. Now let's move on to Central Park. Central Park is an urban oasis. The 843-acre green space features rolling meadows, peaceful bodies of water, bringing a sense of calm to the otherwise busy city. The range of activities you can take part in here is incredible. You can go hiking, biking, ice skating, fishing, visit the Central Park Zoo, see a formal English garden, and during the summer months, you can just lounge on picnic blankets and listen to a live concert. So I just wanted to take a moment to play a quick video of Central Park, and you, on your own time, you can also click on Best Things to Do in Central Park so you can learn more. So let's watch the video real quickly. So boys and girls, you really get to feel the culture with Central Park there and how people go there and get away from that city feel and to more of a relaxing atmosphere. Okay, well, Central Park is one of New York City's most breathtaking and celebrated attractions. Central Park is a must-see for everyone visiting the 5 boroughs. It was designed by Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux between, and I apologize if I mispronounced his name, 1858 and 1873. The 843-acre park is an urban oasis of trees, gardens, rolling meadows, arches, sculptures, statues, and broad sweeping views. The range of outdoor activities you can enjoy there is seemingly endless. Skipped. Central Park Zoo houses more than 130 species of animals. They're all kept in environments that mimic their natural habitats, from tropical to temperate polar zones. The list includes grizzly bears, penguins, red pandas, snow leopards, birds, and frogs. A particular favorite of zoo goers is the sea lion feeding, which takes place 3 times daily at the Sea Lion Pool. The Tisch Children's Zoo, added in 1997, offers a petting zoo, the Enchanted Forest, and educational programs for children. The Great Lawn at the very center of Central Park sits one of the world's most famous green spaces. The Great Lawn, which is 55 acres of grass and baseball diamonds that were once the city's main reservoir. In addition to being one of the best places to lay out in a blanket and sunbathe, take a nap, read a book, or just have a picnic, the Great Lawn is also renowned for its many musical performances. The site regularly plays host to performances by the Metropolitan Opera and the New York Philharmonic, as with the most of the beautiful features in Central Park. Here's Huddlestone Arch. Central Park is home to 21 arches, and while each one is spectacular in its own right, the Huddlestone Arch has a special story to tell. It's built from enormous uncut boulders, one of which is said to weigh 100 tons, and it's supported not by cement, concrete, or metal, but by gravity and friction alone. The arch also supports traffic that passes above and has done so since it was constructed in 1866 without ever needing a repair. This miracle of physics is thought by many to be the most picturesque of all the arches, and though it's man-made, it gives the appearance of a natural phenomenon. Here is just a picture where you can row your way around the lake or opt for a more relaxing gondola ride. Either way, you get to explore the park's largest natural body of water. Here's Cleopatra's Needle. Here you can decipher hieroglyphics at the Cleopatra's Needle. This few thousand years old tower made its way from Alexandria, Egypt to Manhattan in the late 1800s. Also, Woman Rink. Ice skating in New York City is at the top of many to-do lists, and this happens to be one of the more spectacular venues to take a spin, since it offers stunning views of the park and the Midtown skyline. In the summer, the arena is transformed into Victorian Gardens amusement park, which houses rides and other entertainment for families. So boys and girls, here's the spectacular view how Central Park separates the west from the east on Manhattan Island. It is just a breathtaking view. So today, boys and girls, we want you to go back to Discovery Education. One of the assigned videos is the building of Central Park, which is such an amazing video to really show you the history and how workers have built different things in the park to make the park the way it is today. So please watch that. We also have two other interesting videos. One is New York elevators and skyscrapers, just so you could see how the elevator was invented, and also to learn more about the New York Harbor of the past and what it used to look like. Once you watch the three videos, and please remember that we can see on our dashboard who is viewing the videos, so please do your part on this as part of your exercise. Also go to Seesaw, and we want you to complete the activity. Today we want to really see a thoughtful paragraph about which part of Manhattan would you like to visit. And think about all the lessons we've done over the past, I think, 6 days or so, and explain why. So the directions are clearer on Seesaw, but we're looking for a good paragraph to now think about all the different neighborhoods and parts of Manhattan that you've learned and write us a good paragraph about that. We hope you enjoyed these lessons and keep being curious and learning about the different boroughs that are so close to us.